The power of the dark side.
This video is a message to all Star Wars fans. Please stay away from the Fandom Menace. Hello everyone. I wanted to keep this subject away from my channel, however I feel that it's very important to talk about this, given the current state of the Star Wars fandom. However, a quick hint of context behind what I'm talking about first. As hardcore Star Wars fans may know, since Disney took control of the franchise, the IP hasn't been treated with the greatest degree of respect. Here is a quick list of some of the stabs in the back that Disney have given Star Wars fans over the past few years. In 2013, they initially cancelled Star Wars The Clone Wars, or TCW for short, and shut down LucasArts. In 2014, they decanonized the Expanded Universe, which has since been rebranded as Legends. In 2015, we had that bare bones excuse revival of a Star Wars game franchise in the form of Star Wars Battlefront 2015 and A New Hope 2.0, well, a technological 2.0 version of A New Hope anyway, in the name of Episode 7, The Force Awakens. And then fast forward 2 years on from that, we have Battlefront 2 2017, with the predatory, scummy loot box microtransaction pay-to-win fiasco, and the critics versus fans divide of Episode 8 of the Skywalker saga, Star Wars Episode 8 The Last Jedi. TLJ was very divisive within the Star Wars community and has since created a divide in the fandom, and it's TLJ that leads me onto the subject of this video. Now, do the channel avatars you see before you look familiar to anyone watching this? If so, I feel it's imperative to inform the uninitiated that these people, and many others, are part of the Fandom Menace. For those who don't know, the term Fandom Menace is what the fans who would go around attacking Lucasfilm or fans of Disney Star Wars, and as such, the Fandom Menace, as they're known today, have gone on to use that term as their identity. And ever since the Fandom Menace came to be, they've been very scummy towards people in the Star Wars fandom who aren't in any way associated with them. And all of the cases of the antics that they've caused are from this year, at least the ones that I'm going to be discussing. So, let's get on with it. The first case I'm going to be talking about occurred in March of this year. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Expanded Universe YouTuber known as Ironinquistor uploaded a 40-second clip of Geeks and Gamers saying that he loved The Last Jedi. And if you watch GNG's response video to this, you will see that Geeks and Gamers left this comment here. Firstly, GNG says he meant The Force Awakens and not The Last Jedi, and he also shows a Facebook conversation between himself and his editor, who used that clip against him as a joke.
So I sent the video to before I uploaded it. I said, dude, I misspoke right here. Can you edit that out? He goes, oh, totally, I got you. After we uploaded it, he goes, hey, man, can I take that clip and f with you in the Facebook group?
As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter if Geeks and Gamers meant The Force Awakens instead of The Last Jedi, because I love The Last Jedi are the words that came out of G&G's mouth.
I love The Last Jedi. I love The Last Jedi.
It's over for me.
I love The Last Jedi.
As such, G&G opened the door for people to use that clip as a joke against him, regardless of whether that was done with his consent or not. Also, he didn't bother making an on-screen correction for that or re-recording that 40 seconds of whichever video that clip is from. Also, he then goes so far as to mock Iron's voice in his response video.
See you guys around.
See you guys around. See you guys around.
And he also, in the comment he left on Iron's video, refers to people like him as ignorant and stupid.
God, I love the fact that stupid, ignorant people continue to make me famous.
Now, the image that you see here is from the thumbnail of a video uploaded by Dark Synovia, who is another Expanded Universe YouTuber. However, again, a quick hint of context behind the video that this thumbnail is for. After Ironinquistor was mocked by Geeks and Gamers, another Expanded Universe YouTuber known as BLevel Star Wars made this video here as a means to both defend Ironinquistor and prove to people that the Fandom Menace don't really care about the Expanded Universe. Then you have the Fandom Menace higher-ups who did a 4-hour live stream attempting to discredit BLevel, and at a certain point in the stream, this happened.
Hate Ryan Johnson while you love Dave Filoni. Saying you care about Star Wars while not even talking about the new Marvel EU comic issue 108 coming out May 27th.
This has got to be fake. Come on. This has got to be fake.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
We're not talking about this comic book, and isn't Marvel, like, aren't they in trouble financially?
Yeah, big time.
They are, but
Yes.
Well, as far as the comics, Ethan, I think you're the most well-versed in comics, and then Jeff, what do you guys have to say about this Darth Vader comic that we're not covering?
well, I'm not covering it, but I can tell you that the one they canceled in 2013 was awesome, and I was buying that. And would that be considered expanded universe? I'd love to talk about it. B-level Star Wars fan.
I would love to talk about the fact that the first one sold nearly 1 million copies and the current one is down to 30,000.
I've already mentioned it in this video, but I'll say it again. In 2014, Disney decided to scrap the Expanded Universe in order to supposedly give creative freedom to the new generation of Star Wars content creators, which I find rather ironic given how the current canon definitely has its share of content that rips the Expanded Universe off. Anyway, the old Expanded Universe came to be rebranded as Legends after it was discarded to not confuse Disney Lucasfilm's new stories with what came before, and also not completely alienate the long-time fans who had followed the EU, known as Legends nowadays. But then, on May 27th of this year, the 108th issue of the current run of Star Wars Marvel comic books, titled Forever Crimson, was released. Forever Crimson is the first new Legend story within 5 years. If the Fandom Menace, particularly the higher-ups, truly cared about the Expanded Universe at any capacity, don't you think they would have made at least one video as a means to promote Marvel 108? I mean, they aren't exactly obscure YouTubers now, are they? Well, as you saw from the clip I just played to you, they mocked it and called it fake. After the Fandom Menace higher-ups were finished with the live stream that you just saw that clip from, several people, including Dark Synovia, actually downloaded the podcast, and Dark Synovia actually then uploaded part of the Fandom Menace stream attacking Ironinquistor and BLevel Star Wars to his own YouTube channel as a means to, again, show proof to his audience that the Fandom Menace don't care or have any respect for the EU and the community that loves it so much. So that's why that's the thumbnail this video is for. This is an excerpt of the Fandom Menace 4-hour live stream in which they mocked the EU community and Ironinquistor. The EU Ironinquistor and BLevel, so then that way people can see for themselves that the Fandom Menace don't care about the EU, whatever they say. Also, in case any Fandom Menacers try to come at me and say that WCBS has EU discussion live streams on his channel, or that Geeks and Gamers have all of a sudden started talking about the expanded universe now, I have something to say about that. In regards to the expanded universe content on WCBS's channel, that defense is a strawman defense, considering that if you search up Star Wars videos on WCBS's channel, you will find that most of the Star Wars content he makes is not to do with the EU at all. As for Geeks and Gamers talking about the expanded universe now, they've only started doing it as of a couple of months back. Don't let G&G's sudden shift towards talking about the expanded universe fool you guys. This is more than likely a ploy for the Fandom Menace to stay relevant running up to the Rise of Skywalker. Considering the Fandom Menace have only just started talking about the EU, it genuinely wouldn't surprise me if, once the Rise of Skywalker is out, they transition solely on to talking about that and leave talking about the expanded universe in the dust. As I mentioned at the beginning of this, the Fandom Menace are known for bullying fans of the Disney Star Wars canon. This is, I believe, a case-in-point example of that. This happened in April of this year, not long after the release of the first teaser trailer for Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. A fan who goes by the YouTube username The Eric Butts did a reaction video to it. If you've seen that video, you'll see that he was emotionally engaged and enthralled by what he saw. However, the Fandom Menace, they clearly don't feel the same way. If you scroll through the comments on that video, you will see that there are people just hounding Eric down and making fun of him for no reason. Obviously, everyone's opinions on creative art varies. Some things people like, other things people don't like. However, there's a blatantly obvious line between a civil difference of opinion and acting like a scorned troll just because one person loved and personally connected with something that you didn't.